Hey everyone, welcome back to our channel. Now in today's video, we are going to look into one of the important object from the data science machine learning perspective that's called as default dictionary. Now this is one of the important object because whenever we want to write any program and when we are building any machine learning model, we most of the time will be building the Python dictionary. And in some scenarios, we actually prefer to use default dictionary. So let's understand what is this default dictionary and how is it different from the normal Python dictionary that we have always seen. So just to give you a high level understanding, this default dictionary is a subclass of the dictionary class, but the specialty about this default dictionary is the default dictionary never raises any key error. So you can read over here, it says DefaultDict is a subclass of the dictionary class which returns a dictionary-like object. Remember, it returns dictionary-like object. And when it comes to functionality, there's no difference. The functionality of both dictionary and the default dictionary are almost same, except the fact that the default dictionary never raises a key error. Now here I'm in the official documentation page of Python. So this is the implementation. They say this belongs to the collection class. From collection there is something called as default dictionary, and here it says this is going to return a new dictionary like object. This is not a dictionary, this is a dictionary like object, and default dictionary is a subclass of the built-in dict class, and it actually overrides one of the method and adds one writable instance variable. The remaining functionality is same for the dictionary class and is not documented over here. So let's explore this default dictionary object. First, let's look at the disadvantage that we are going to face whenever we are using a normal dictionary, that is the general dictionary object. So in order to show the same, let's assume I have some values. Let's make it keys itself. I'll say keys, and the various keys that I have is X, Y, Z, A, B, C. So I have six keys, and let's take 6 values as well. I'll say values, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So I have 6 values and 6 keys. Let's create a normal dictionary. Now to create a normal dictionary, I'll just make use of dictionary comprehension. Now if you are new to this concept, so please check out the link in description where we have explained in depth about list comprehension, dictionary comprehension. Now in this example, I'll perform dictionary comprehension. I'll say D key colon value for key comma value in zip of key comma value. Okay, so this is going to construct a dictionary which is called as D, and let me just display my D. So this will generate the dictionary object D, where the keys will be X, Y, Z, A, B, C, and its respective values will be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Now, we already know that if I want to query my dictionary, I'll say my dictionary, and inside my indexing operator, I'll specify my key value to return a particular value. Let's say I want to return a value with the key equal to B. So in such scenario, I'll say B, this is going to return me the output as 5. Now, what happens if I specify a key which is not present over there in this default dictionary, that is, which is not present in this normal dictionary? So D, let's say I'll give it as F, and if I just execute this, so it tells me as, okay, there is a key error. The key F is not found in my dictionary D. So that is what we are going to face whenever we are working with normal dictionary. Now let's see how to create a default dictionary. Now to create the default dictionary, so as you can clearly see, this is present inside the package of collections. So I'll say from collection, I'm going to import default dictionary. And once it is imported, I can start using it. The way that we create is like, we'll create an object for this default dictionary. I'll say it as new dictionary is equal to default dictionary object type, and I'll specify my default value. So if you look at it, the first argument it takes is the default factory. the default factory means what or how it should behave when the key value is not found. So I'll say int. Okay, I'll just say it as int, which means whenever there is any key error, just return me a default integer value that is 0. So that is what it would mean. So this is going to create me a new dictionary object. I'll say type new dict. So the type of this new dict is actually a defaultdict class. But if you have seen earlier, so when I say type of D, the type of D was normal Python dictionary. Now this is a defaultdict object type. Now let's look at the speciality of this new dict. I'll just copy paste the above code and I'll say new underscore dict, and I'll use the same logic and I'll build my new values, new dict right away. Okay, so I have made use of the concept of list comprehension and I have done like this. So if I say type of new dict, now I'll do one thing. I'll add some elements for this new default dictionary object. So I'll say new underscore dict and I'll specify a key value. Let's assume C, and I'll set it equal to 100, and I'll just create some more. D 200, E 500, F, and I'll say 900, and I'm going to display my new dictionary. Okay, so my default dictionary object has been created. So this is how my this is going to create my default dictionary object, and this is what my default dictionary object is telling me. Okay, so if any value is found, or if I find any key which is not present in such scenarios, it is going to behave just like this function. And the values that I have in my default dictionary is this. Okay, so this is the key and this is the value. Now let's see whether I can retrieve any value from this default dictionary. I'll say new dict C. So this is going to retrieve the value that is assigned for the key of C. So this is working exactly like my normal dictionary. Now let's give the key which is not present over here in this default dictionary object. I'll say new dict A. So obviously the key A is not present in this default dictionary object. So I'll just execute this. So this time I'll not get a key error and I'll just get the default output as 0. The reason I'm getting the output as 0 because that is what I have specified when I was creating this new dict object. So this new dict object takes a function which tells me as, okay, what is the default behavior? Now to give you more clarity, let's do one thing. We can also write our own custom function. I'll say def welcome. Okay, this is a function that I am doing. I'll say return welcome. Okay, this is just a very simple function that I am writing over here. Then I'll just create my new dictionary object and I'll assign the values. So while creating my new default dictionary object, I'll say new dict, and inside the parenthesis of the definition, I'll say welcome. That's it. So just observe closely. I'm creating a new dict, that is the default dictionary object, and instead of specifying as int, this time I'm specifying my own custom function, that is welcome. I'll just execute this. So this is going to create my default dict object. Now observe what is the output when I give any key which is not present in this default dictionary object. I'll say new dict A. See, instead of giving me the error, this time it is returning me from this custom function that I have defined earlier. Now that's the benefit of using this default dictionary object. Now whenever you're writing any application, if the user is trying to extract something, in such scenarios, instead of using exception handling, you can just directly make use of this default dictionary, and whenever there is any error which is due to the key error, you can just give a custom message basis of your requirement. So that's the benefit of using this default dictionary. And not only this complete Python function, I can also make use of lambda function as well to show you the same. I'll say lambda, and I can say wow. Now I'll show you. So this time I have used my lambda function, and this is going to return me the value from my lambda function. Okay, now coming back to the important topic of this video, how is it actually used in case of data science, machine learning and deep learning? So I'll be using this default dictionary whenever I want to create my own counter instead of using any inbuilt counter. Now to give you an example, let's say I'm going to say it as color counter, and I'm going to create it as DefaultDict object and int. Okay, and the way that I'm going to say it is for, let's assume I have a list that is called as color, and this has various colors, black and red, blue, black, cyan, blue. So let's assume this is my Python list which contains the color preference of individual students or individual children. Now I want to count as how many number of unique colors are present and how many of them are present for each color. So all in all, I want to understand as how this particular thing is present. So in such scenarios, the way that we'll be doing is for C in color. Okay, and I can say it as color underscore counter, and I would say as C plus is equal to 1. Now at the end, I can just go ahead and display the same. So in order to display the same, I'll say for color C comma counter in color underscore counter dot items. Okay, I'm going to print my C comma counter. So what this code would mean is create a default dictionary object, and I'm calling it as color counter, and I have created a Python list which contains favorite colors of children, black, red, black, blue, cyan, blue and blue. Now I want to count as what are the unique values that we have over here in this Python list and how much of those entries are present in this Python list. In order to do that, there is a small for loop. The small for loop says for C in color, so color counter C plus is equal to 1. So whenever I get anything over here, I'm just incrementing by 1. Now I'll just execute this. So when I execute this, I am able to generate my own counter, and this dictionary has actually behaved like a counter for me. You can clearly observe. Now instead, if I had used the default Python dictionary instead of using the DefaultDict, I'll show you what I mean. I'll say color counter as a blank Python dictionary. See, I'm going to get an error of key error if I want to build a counter. But because I'm using this default dictionary, I'm not going to get that key error when I'm building this kind of counter. So that's the advantage of using this default dictionary. I hope you enjoyed and I hope you learned something new today. So if yes, please like the video and subscribe to our channel if you're new to us. And if you're interested in getting started in data science, machine learning and deep learning journey, please check out our playlist that we have already created in our YouTube channel. We have an ongoing video series on the same. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Till then, take care.